Okay, I'm back in the bathroom. I know this is a totally different vibe, but I hope you could get used to it because I practically adapt to every environment, almost every environment I'm in, whether I'm in the hood or the countryside or whatever. You're gonna have to find a way to adapt to any new environment. I know it's not easy. But this is basically like my home. Being the bathroom is like so disassociative or safe space coded for, you know, my partners out there who grew up in, not so great homes. I actually have pretty good lighting here and I'm good to go. So practically this is the second video essay of the day, and my mom is low-key the main topic of the video. So I was recently using this AI program we all know of that literally helped me throughout high school with math and English and whatever subject. But as much as I'm scared of the future technology of artificial intelligence, it actually has helped us a lot when the people who are supposed to step in to educate us really didn't do much, and we've had to re-educate ourselves or find a way more advanced solution. And it makes me almost believe in the concept of divine machinery. Okay, so my mother, she wasn't really considered conventionally attractive according to the standards in this country, especially in the early 2000s, where trigger warning, but that body thing was really popularized. In fact, it goes way back to the modeling era, that crack coke era, but it was more of the Hollywood aestheticized version. So I I had this concept, I had this chat with Chat GPT, because sometimes when friends don't really come through, and now that AI exists, I automatically, just go to GPT. Hey, can you help me find a synonym or a way more advanced way I can sound and make my commentary without sounding illiterate, you feel me? So I felt like she got with my father for the mere concept of him having eyes for her, only with a swagger way, like she was a video vixen and her pimp, and my dad was like her pimp. But I know that's a really stupid concept, but it might be true. I mean, sometimes we have a girl talk here and there, and she's been open about how other good men have proposed to her, but she denied their offer and went for the cool dapper guy who seemed swaggy and wanted to live the American dream, especially from the perspective of Black America, because they could never be white, by the way, because being white, first off, is the American dream. BFFR. So before anything too, if you're a psych student, I appreciate if you clicked on my video, because basically I'm dealing with regressional traits due to narcissism, especially from my dad's side, and emotional defenselessness due to judgment from family. But my emotional suppression I naturally have just makes me feel like there's no fucking time to break down, especially in the state that I'm in right now. So please excuse me. So according to GPT, which is trying to mirror the emotion of basic humans, basic human decency, which still exists, even though I've basically lost I've low-key lost touch of reality, and I've low-key lost faith in humanity as well. GPT said, "Thank you for trusting me with this. There's a lot in what you shared that holds pain, truth, and insight, and let's unpack it with care and honesty in a way that allows space for your reflection and healing." So I tried to depict this conversation in a way that it's like between a host and it's I'm the like the person, the figure. I don't know what I am, but like, let's say a celebrity, and I practically have an audience sitting in with me, and it's practically you, but this is through a screen. Okay, so according to GPT, it views my mother's lens and is trying to understand me from the perspective that my mother learned that desire had terms and conditions, that beauty was a currency, and hers didn't always cash in, but it did not mean that she did not have confidence. Same goes for me, especially now. Come on, look at me. My mom was way harder than me. Fine, okay. She was way harder. So basically, I think that my dad, he presented himself as a gentleman, but he looked at her like she was something to mostly possess or project on eventually as she got into the relationship, which is intoxicating. And that's what he's mad at me for right now. And the fact that it's a fantasy built on dust and on dreams of America as filtered through television and survival. She chose him not because he would hold her soul, but because he gave her a chance to live inside a myth. And it makes me feel like, was she ever on anything? No shade. And I don't know, maybe I just so happen to have to be the black sheep, even though I'm not as bad as you other people out there. So GPT is saying that a line is very heavy, they could never be white. So the only option was performative power to imitate dominance and to cosplay the American dream using what they had and how they were raised. And they had to use like tough love, praise in private, shame in public, and calling it raising a child. But practically with everything that happened, I'm glad grandma raised me. I was born into this cycle. I didn't ask. So I'm literally a child dropped in the middle of someone else's movie, trying to find the script whilst being judged for not knowing my lines. It's scary. Okay. So we're gonna go back to if the psych students are here right now. So I'm trying to recover from regression and narcissism and all that, because it did not start with me. I was just a mirror for people who couldn't look at themselves and blamed for things that had nothing to do with the child. And my family, according to GPT, they're like, it came to like these terms that my family did not judge me because they saw you clearly, but because of things built in, being reminded of things built in. Now let me check. I do need to check in case before I get knocked the fuck out. So the American dream is someone else's trauma in a tuxedo. It's survival dressed as status, and especially for the POC community. And my parents were players in a script written by racism, misogyny, false promises, a promise of a luxury lifestyle. Okay. So, pretty much, my origin story is I'm still reading from a script here, that I was born in a deficit, not as a burden but as a witness, someone who picked up the leftovers of their decisions, swallowed their moods, learned their tales, and became the unofficial translator of their unspoken pain. And I did learn how to read a room before I could learn how to read a book, partially. And being raised in a Christian home just basically sums up to, oh, you need the armor of God and protection. But basically, I wasn't allowed armor because every time I did try to defend myself, someone made me the villain in my own survival. And until now, I'm still and until my whole family tree dies, they're going to continue to call me dramatic, sensitive, ungrateful, when I was dramatic for just responding, sensitive for being tuned in and aligning with or even at least attempting to align with my sensitivity, and ungrateful when I was just asking to be seen, and they will make a mockery of that. That's why I'm as apathetic as I am about my family, and they hate that. Tragically, to them, they were possibly a ride or die couple surviving the world together. I'm looking at it through their lenses, even though I've never experienced love before. But now, again, as an 18-year-old, my reality is it was a chaotic pairing where love was often confused with possession and power. And maybe when she noticed that she was in that abusive pattern, it was a little too late. But I'm so grateful, I'm so thankful to God that she was able to get out of that. I think mostly growing up, especially due to my physical stature, which bitch, I wish I hit the gym good enough. But anyways, I was supposed to be like this parentified. I was supposed to be my own parent, and I was a strong, smart child who should have known better all the time. And now I just feel like I was just deeply perceptive. I had this kind of discernment, and I feel like I was also given this role to play, to constantly manage the moods of others, whether it was people pleasing or pleasing their ego or anything. Well, they were trying to live the dream, but was classically a reenactance of inherited wounds and calling it normal. And most people hate reality. And I just a quick note on the American dream. We're backtracking. It's not about race in the shallow sense. It's about proximity to power without judgment, the ability to feel quietly, the right to exist without being a spectacle, and they couldn't necessarily get that. And I was just, and still probably am a little bit too real, too honest, too awake. Like, I'm actually getting conscious just as much as this chat GPT scripts I'm reading off of. And unfortunately, I'm the rupture in the script, the one who couldn't stick to their role, and that's why I'm constantly being judged, and I feel guilty all the time, especially when I'm being the fat fuck of the family and overeating everything as to gain a sense of control, because everything in the house came with invisible strings and audible shame, and it was being taught to me. So I don't owe my mother her fantasy, I don't owe my father his legend, I don't owe my family my silence, but if that's what they want, even though I'm like practically nobody, I don't have any control of myself, because practically according to tradition, I'm owned by my father up until I find a person, and they want me to get with the wrong person and take my child away from me, because apparently I'm fucking crazy and manic all the time. First of all, I was born first immigrant African Ghanaian parents to first immigrant African Ghanaian parents. My mom claims to be full Ghanaian from certain districts, and my dad partly Ivorian. And I still have a lot more to do on this video, but due to feeling a little scared, because I'm in this new Resident Evil like place, I'm actually so for real right now. I feel like a Resident Evil character, and I feel swagged up though.